Even though my circumstances didn't reflect that, I just knew what I felt in my heart. You just know.
Yeah.
You just know it's something more out there just calling you. It's like a magnet, man.
Yeah. Hey everyone, this is Ivan Santiago with Pass the Mic. I'm here with my awesome friend B. Haley, who is the founder of We Are One.
Yeah, We Are One Movement.
We Are One Movement, and we're going to get into all the websites and social media at the end. But brother, it's my pleasure to have you here.
My man.
Man, we go way back, but I want to hear your way back. Like, can you take me back to your childhood, your upbringing? Kind of give us some substance there.
Yeah, man, I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, by East St. Louis. And yeah, man, came up, long story short, I won't get into all of it. About 25 years ago, I had this inkling to move to Nashville, Tennessee from St. Louis, Missouri. Did it on total faith. And I promised my sister on her deathbed that I'd get out of St. Louis and do something with my life. Within 24 hours, she passed away. Within 2 weeks after we buried her, ended up moving to Nashville, Tennessee. The best move I ever made in my life.
So you promising her something, that you were going to make something of yourself, that means that there was something that was going on. Can you elaborate maybe a little bit on that? Yeah,
man, I was just into a bunch of bad stuff in the St. Louis, East St. Louis, Missouri area. Was out there selling drugs, got caught up in a lot of stuff that wasn't in the best interest of long life for me. And I kind of saw too, and me and my sister, we both saw, because I was one of the ones always taking her to our chemotherapies. So we have great intimate talks. So I kind of saw people going around in this cycle once it came to sports and to music. And she always said, you never want to be a local Yoko. And that always meant this, you never want to be the big fish, the small pond. So she challenged me, man, and I'm happy I took the challenge.
Absolutely. So it sounds like she played a huge influential role in kind of like keeping you on the right path.
Yeah, she was the push. She was the push. I don't know if it wasn't for me making her that promise. I don't know if I'd have did the leap, the jump, you know?
You know, when you look back at people that are in situations similar to that, you know, where you're born and raised in an area and maybe it's not the best area or whatever, but, you know, there's challenges that you face. What do you feel about the importance? What would you say about the importance of having positive influences that can help you navigate that and come out on top?
It's everything, man. It's everything. You are who you surround yourself around. And I was always taught, and I'm still taught, if you're the smartest person in the room, you might want to get a new circle. That's the only way to grow. You can't be the smartest person in the room. So I'm always now, in this next stage of my life, I want to be the dumbest person in the room. I just want to glean something, and that's all. That's what growth is all about, man. Just gleaning, and the only way to do that is you have to get around people who are better than you, who would challenge you in ways to push you outside of your comfort zone.
So when you arrived in Nashville, what kind of a shock did you face with the move? And like, you know, you got to set new grounds, new footing.
Absolutely, man. When I first moved here, didn't know anyone really, a couple of people, but I was homeless for a while.
Wow.
And I played on the street corners of downtown Nashville in front of the Hard Rock Cafe.
Wow.
And back then in Nashville, that was when this massive thing, it's coming back around now, called Dancing in the District. Dancing in the District was a free concert each and every Thursday night where everyone from Kentucky, Tennessee would come around and listen to great music on the riverfront. So I got a spot in front of Hard Rock Cafe. I met, at the time, it was these bucket guys. They were playing buckets. So I asked them, got to know them, and said, hey guys, would you mind if I brought a drum set out here and we can jam together? So I did that for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, they uninvited me because I was making more money in my bucket than they were in their buckets. So I moved down the street to Hooters, right down there off of 2nd to Hooters. And I got to know the girls there and stuff. So I would just network, man, and pass out my business cards So that was my thing. I was just here. I was grinding. I was hustling, man.
Wow.
And just networking. You know, that's what Nashville was all about. You know, just networking, doing all the things that people were not, just doing everything to succeed that your average person wasn't willing to do. Like play on street corners or go homeless, live out of a car. You know, so yeah, man.
What brought about stability eventually for you in the city?
Man, I would get stability was me working on my craft in the daytime, because I always thought in my mind, if I wanted to do this for a job, and a job is from what? 9 to 5. I said I had to practice from 9 to 5, and then at night I had an Amoco gas station job from 11 p.m., to 7 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
So I would get a couple hours of sleep, not even a couple hours, just, you know, an hour or so, practice on my drums, do that repetitively, and see myself in my mind just playing for hundreds of thousands of people.
Wow. So take me back, because obviously you moved to Nashville because you had a skill. You could play drums.
Yes.
Where did that start for you?
Yeah, man. My mom, I came up, my mom is an evangelist.
Yeah.
So we was always in the church. So if I wasn't playing sports, I was practicing on drums. So, man, just got really good at playing drums, and then would always go to my church because I couldn't afford a drum set. We couldn't afford a drum set. We came up, I'm one of 8 in my family. So we couldn't afford a drum set. Drum sets are very expensive. And so I would always go to our church that we were members of, go down there and practice. And thank God the pastor was willing enough to let me come in and kind of have a key to the church. And I would just share it, man, every waking moment I could.
Did you have anybody that was influential to you at that age that kind of was taking you under the wing for music?
Man, it was this one guy, a couple of guys. I remember this guy named Tony Williams, man. He played for this local church, and this guy was the baddest drummer, man. I'm like, this guy's so amazing. And I remember our churches had this revival, you know, Monday through Wednesday. And I heard this guy play, and I just went up to him, and I said, hey, man, you mind if we hang out and we can, you know, kind of share together? You can teach me a lot of stuff. He said, absolutely. So, man, that was a huge turning point within my life, me asking for help and actually getting the support I needed from somebody I really looked up to.
You know what I always think about when I hear a story like that is flip the tables, right? If that person would have said no because they were caught up into like just, I don't know, they didn't want to help somebody. Think about what they could have done to your destiny.
Wow.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could have shattered your hopes.
Yeah, man.
And I think people need to be encouraged to take on the mantra of mentorship, you know, and encouragement of young people. We need more of that today.
Absolutely, brother. And that's my thing now, Ivan, because, and sorry, his name wasn't Tony Williams, it was Terry Williams.
Okay.
Terry, I'm so sorry, brother. I love you, man. Terry Williams, man, and just a beast, man. And that's what I feel, man. I heard this quote from Russell Simmons. He said, when we learn late, we have an obligation to teach them early. So that's my motto now, man. I don't want younger guys or younger girls to come up and hit the same roadblocks that I done had. You know, it needs to be a clear path, you know, so yeah, man.
So at what point did you actually realize that you had a gifting that was more than just the ordinary person on drums?
Man, I guess when I was taking most of the money from the bucket guys, to be honest with you.
Wow.
You know, you have people gathering around, you know, huge crowds, and then, you know, people just trying to network with me and stuff. And man, honestly, I just felt it, man. You know, when you're practicing, you're never practicing to yourself.
Yeah.
You're practicing in your mind to hundreds of thousands of people. So even though my circumstances didn't reflect that, I just knew what I felt in my heart. You just know. Yeah. You just know it's something more out there just calling you. It's like a magnet, man. Yeah. You know, so yeah, man. More so, I think I just knew, and it's just that magnet thing attracted me to keep on going, you know. And
I think a lot of people that might even be watching right now might feel the same thing, but they don't know what to do with it. Yeah. Like I 100% know what you're talking about, because I felt that, you know, as a young person. I felt like, man, I'm called, and it's not to put down the local church or the local gig, but I always felt like there was more, you know, for me. And so that thing calling, you have to respond to it. Where I guess you don't have to, because you can always choose not to. Yeah. But I think therein lies this whole thing of like finding fulfillment and happiness, and finding like yourself in the ordinary routine that you never would have envisioned for your life.
Absolutely, brother. I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah.
You gotta, it's just that push, even when you want to give up, it's still that push.
Yeah.
Those confirmations, you're like, okay, it's like follow the yellow brick road. It constantly reveals itself as you take a step.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
So what was your first break, if you want to call it a break, with some artist that put you on and you actually were making money? Go ahead and elaborate on that.
Yeah, man. Well, my first break was I had moved to Nashville with a soft yes from this lady named CeCe Winans.
Okay.
But that didn't pan out. Mark Harris, the music director at the time, was like, "What are you doing in St. Louis?" I'm like, "Man, really nothing." So kind of had a little bit of a door open, but nothing manifested from that off the top.
Mm-hmm.
So man, I just hit the streets. I was grinding, and then I met up with this artist named Ben Tankard. So Ben was probably my first official real gig.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, from Ben Tankard, we went on to do stuff with Dr. Bobby Jones, with Karen Clark Shear, with Kurt Carr and the Carr Singers. It's just the gospel side. It just had this ongoing, because once you get one break and you're professional and you're on time, the word gets out, man.
Right.
Then you're able to kind of just pick and choose what you want. It's like a domino effect.
Right.
So yeah, man, I just hit the ground running after that. And I was praying for that big break, but once it came. It came in full swing. So yeah, man.